Hello, it's Adrian again for our next video. Okay, and this is grade time 5, unit 4, and now we're going to talk a little bit about grammar, the second grammatical point of this unit. Okay, this is on page 43 of your books, and we're going to talk about something called adverbs and adverbial phrases. But what are adverbs? Well, sometimes we use, for example, adjectives to qualify nouns. For example, you say house, a big house. So it's not only a house, it's a big house. So this big, which is an adjective, is qualifying a noun, or a small house, or a fast car. So it's qualifying the car. But sometimes we have words that don't qualify nouns, but they qualify verbs. They change a little bit the meaning of the verb. And these words that qualify verbs are called adverbs. Take a look. So adverbs qualify verbs. They can qualify verbs in different ways. For example, they can qualify the verbs, what we call adverbs of manner, which answers to the question, how? You can say that he walked, but how did the person walk? He walked quickly, in a quick way. So this is the way how he walked quickly. So this is an adverb of manner. Sometimes the adverbs can be adverbs of time, which answers the question, when? He got there late. When did he get there? He got late. So it qualifies the verb get or got. So answering to the question, when. The adverbs can be adverbs of place, which answer to the question, where. Sign here, please. Sign where? Here. Here's an adverb of place. The adverbs can be adverbs of probability. For example, you probably think I'm crazy. So it's a probability. So you probably think I'm crazy. It can also be adverbs of opinion. It's surprisingly quiet in here. Okay, so it's the person's opinion. So what kind of quiet? Surprisingly quiet in here. Let's go back to the book and see what it's there for us in activity number 1. Okay, here is activity number 1, which says, for each sentence here, put a letter in the box to say if the underlined adverb relates to time, letter T, to manner, letter M. So T is when, time, manner is how, place is where, and certainty. Okay, C. For example, I read your post and can completely relate to it. How can I relate to this post? Completely. So this is an adverb of manner. Okay. Now I would like you to pause the video, read the sentences, and see what answer do they so do they respond to what here? I read about it recently. This read how? Recently. Is this about time, manner, place, certainty? Okay. This is definitely the best album they ever made. You can buy most of the things you need locally. So you need locally. So you can buy locally. So this is what? Time, manner, place, or certainty. You're capable of thinking creatively. Thinking creatively. Okay, so how do you think? You got home at 9 o'clock. So got where? So the answer is to the word where, to the question where. This is possibly the best work I've ever done. Possibly. So it's time, manner, place, or certainty. You can choose the best ideas later. Time, manner, place, or certainty. I applied for the job and surprisingly I got it. Well, and now. I would like you to pause the video now and just put T, M, P, or C according to the adverb, okay? We'll be right back. Okay, did you have time to think about it? So let's correct together. I read about it recently. So it refers to what? To adverb of time, because it answers when did you read about it. So you read recently. This is definitely the best album they've ever made. Is this time? No. Place? No, it's not where, not when. Manner, how? No, so this is certainty. Okay, probability or certainty. Okay, this is definitely. This is possibly the best album they've ever made. This is an adverb of certainty or probability. Okay, you can buy most of the things you need locally. Buy locally. This responds to which question? To where? Adverb of place, because locally it refers to a place. You are capable of thinking creatively. Think how? How do I think creatively? It's the way I think, so it's manner. So it responds to the question how. You got home. We got home at 9 o'clock. Where did we get? Home. So it responds to the question, the place. Adverb of place. This is possibly the best work I've ever done. This is response to the question of not time, not place, not manner, but certainty, possibility, probability. Okay? You can choose the best ideas when? Later, not now. So it responds to the question of when. It's time. And finally, I applied for the job and surprisingly, I got it in a surprising way. So how did I get it? Surprisingly. So it's the manner, how I got it. Okay, let's check. Okay, all of them are correct. Okay, so let's take a look at activity number 2. Look back at Sarah's reply on page 42 in the text. What verbs do these words qualify? So these words qualify some verbs in the text. Completely, totally, creatively, immediately, and hard. Let's take a look at the text, okay? Here. So here we have the text. So I read your post and I can completely relate to it. So completely relate, it refers to the verb relate. Completely relate. So it's an adverb of manner. How do I relate to it? Completely. Okay? First thing to say is that if the class is any good, it will help you with your problem. But I can totally understand why you're so anxious. So totally refers to understand. Okay? So how can I understand you? Totally. So it's also an adverb of manner. A central obstacle to our ability to think creatively is the assumption that there must always be a right answer. To think creatively. So creatively refers to think, and it modifies the verb think. So adverb of manner. So how do I think creatively? Let's see again. Next. Another problem is this. We come up with an idea and then we immediately think, oh, that's no good. So immediately refers to think. And immediately is an adverb of what? How do we think? Immediately. It could be an adverb of manner here, but also an adverb of time. So because in an immediate time. Okay? And that's no good. And here, work hard. So hard refers to work. And it's an adverb of manner because it answers to responds the question of how do I work? Work hard. Okay? So each adverb relates to a verb. Hard relates to work. Immediately relates to think. creatively relates to think again, totally relates to understand, and completely relates to relate. Okay, so this is activity number 2. Now let's move on to activity number 3, which is about adverbial phrases. Okay, let's see. Well, when we talk about adverbial phrases, we have to consider this. So we can also use adverbial phrases to describe a verb and to say how an action is or was performed. Sometimes we use only one adverb, as we saw before. Adverb of manner, time, place, certainty. Okay? But sometimes we use a whole phrase more than an adverb, and it functions as an adverb in a sentence. So one structure for adverbial phrases is with plus a noun. With plus a thing. Okay, a thing. For example, when I told her, she reacted with surprise. In a surprising way. So it's how did she react? With surprise. This is an adverb of manner. But in this case, it's not only one adverb. It's a phrase, adverbial phrase. With surprise. So it's with plus noun. Noun, surprise is a noun. Okay? Another structure for adverbial phrases is in a or in an plus the adjective plus the word way. For example, our teacher explains things in a fun way. So how does he explain things? In a fun way. So this is an adverbial phrase of manner, okay, in a fun way. Because we don't have an adverb just for the word fun. So we need the whole adverbial phrase to convey this idea of that it's in a fun way. That is the way the teacher explains. Okay, so we need a fun way. And what's the difference between this and this? This is with plus a noun. This is in a or an plus an adjective, not a noun, and plus way. Okay? So adverbial phrases are often used when an adjective, friendly, difficult, interesting, fun, etc., has no adverb form. So if you don't have an adverb form for this, friendly, difficult, interesting, as here fun, so we have, and we want to modify a verb, we have to use an adverbial phrase instead of just one single adverb. Okay? Well, let's see here. Okay, let's go back to the book now. Okay, so here in our books, activity number 3, we have the same explanation. Sometimes we use adverbial phrases instead of an adverb. So add those words in lists A and B. Okay, the words below we have to put either in list A or in list B. Then choose the correct words to complete this rule here. So we know that here in this column here in this list A, we should put an adjective because this is the structure of the adverbial phrase, okay? Like in, adjective, way. So here we have in an enjoyable way, in a horrible way, in a different way. Which ones are adjectives here? Interesting is an adjective, so in an interesting way. Friendly is an adjective, so in a friendly way. And strange is also an adjective, so in a strange way. So in a friendly way, in an interesting way, in a strange way. All of them are adverbial phrases following this pattern. Another pattern is letter B, with plus the noun. So with or without difficulty, with or without excitement, with or without interest, with or without fear, because fear is a noun, with fear or without fear, with or without surprise, it's also a noun with fear, and with or without enthusiasm. So this is an adverbial phrase with. All right? Did you get it? So now that we have seen this, we can formulate or come up with the rule. So we often form adverbial phrases with in or in a or in an plus a noun or plus an adjective way. Plus an adjective. Let's circle adjective here. In an interesting way, in a friendly way, in a fun way, for example. And with or without plus a noun or adjective plus a noun, as we saw it here. Okay, now we move on to activity number 4. Activity number 4. Complete the sentences. Use expressions from exercise 3. There might be more than one possibility. Take a look at the example. I really like football, so I went to the game with interest. So with interest or with enthusiasm, with excitement, because I really like football. Okay, so this is an adverbial phrase, and it's an adverbial phrase of manner. How did I go to the game? With excitement, with interest. Okay, now you have to use either this in the way or with or this in these sentences here. Okay, I'll like you to pause the video right now, and then when we come back, we're going to correct the activity. Okay, so let's take a look at the answers. So number 1, the first time I met him, he looked at me in, here we have to use that pattern with the adjective. In, for example, in a friendly way. So here we have lots of possibilities. Okay, there isn't only one correct answer. In a friendly way. Is that okay? The first time I met him, he looked at me in a friendly way. It could also be in a strange way, in a horrible way. It depends on the situation, okay? The homework was easy. I did it without, so if it was easy, I did it without difficulty. For example, difficulty, without difficulty. Right? So here, without or with plus a noun. Some of the people at the party were dressed in, for example, in a strange way. In a strange way. Here we could also have other possibilities. For example, in an interesting way, in a different way. Okay? So here we have many possibilities. It was a great show, and I watched it with, well, if it was a great show, I watched it with excitement, for example. Excitement, with excitement. Alright? Do you agree? I don't really like parties, so I went to Gabi's without enthusiasm. If I don't like parties, enthusiasm. Okay, let's check. Okay, well done. All of them make sense. All right. Did you get it? Very, very good. So now I would like you to take some time, and if you have your workbook with you, go to workbook page 37 for some more exercises about it. See you in the next video. Bye.